This is every penny that I've earned this year from every revenue stream as a comic creator in 2024. This is my third year of doing this, and every year I've made more money than the previous year. But pay close attention to these numbers because I think they're going to interest you. I'm John, and I help comic creators complete their comics without burning out. Oh, and stick around because I'm not just going to show you a load of dollars and cents and then get out of here. I'm going to talk about what hasn't worked for me, the realities of making money online, and give suggestions of what you can do to help improve your odds of people seeing your comic. Spoiler alert, it's hard. Let's start with, well, right here. Last year, I made $0 from YouTube because I didn't get enough watch time, and that remained true for more than half of this year. But then in August, I hit the monetization requirements and was able to start the steps of getting involved in the YouTube Partner Program. Yay for me. Also, thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate you. Except it didn't really work out that way. There was something wrong with AdSense, and I don't know what it was because YouTube doesn't know what it was, but I ended up closing the account and then reopening it, and that worked. Anyway, all of that resolved itself this week, which is the start of November. And at the time of writing this script, I have made $4.41, which won't be accessible to me until I hit £60. Fun fact. So technically, I still haven't made any money. But that brings me on to the heavy hitter from last year, which is Epidemic Sound. I earned $762.20 from my affiliate link with Epidemic Sound last year. For those who don't know, an affiliate link is a special link that if people click on it and they buy the product, in this case a subscription to Epidemic Sound, then you who own the link will get a bit of money from it. And by you, I mean me. For Epidemic Sound, that comes in the form of a revenue split, so you'll get a portion of the money people pay for the service at no extra cost to the consumer. It's quite a good business model. Anyway, this year I've earned $2,481.91, not counting November and December, because we're not in December yet, and November's not over, but I expect that to rise to about $2,750 based on some back of the napkin maths. It might be more, it might be less, but it'll be around that, hopefully. So that's all the money I've earned directly through YouTube. Now, freelancing. I haven't actually done any freelancing this year because I've been focusing on my own comic as well as my other projects like this YouTube channel. But if you are looking for freelance work, then I recommend the subreddit Comic Book Collabs. It's where I was able to find the work that I did last year, where I made this amount. Email newsletter. I've been steadily growing my email newsletter over the last 12 months. I was at fewer than 10 last year, and I'm up to 160 now, so it's definitely going in the right direction. The way I've earned money through that newsletter is through products, which is what I'm going to talk about now. I created a Notion template that serves as a comic book planner that people can buy, download, and use, and I use my email newsletter to promote that and create landing pages and stuff like that. I need to do a better job of promoting it, but I'll come back onto why I've done a poor job of that later. I've sold a total of 3 of them, and I've made £30. It actually says £40 on my analytics, but that's because one of those was me, because I wanted to test it, and so I bought it from myself. So that's about $50. Also, I have a new planner out, so these are the sales of the previous version, just in case you go there and it looks different, because it is. Next, Patreon. Speaking of my email newsletter though, I sent out an email several weeks ago encouraging people to create a Patreon, even if they don't have an audience, because you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And it's better to figure all those mistakes out before your audience are there rather than when they are there. It's kind of like the equivalent of tidying up your house before guests arrive. I've been on Patreon for years, and for years my mum was my only patron, so thanks again, Mum. But it enabled me to learn all of the mistakes and learn what was and wasn't working, what I could and couldn't handle. And one of those mistakes is the tier pricing. One of my tiers was $20 a month, which was the one my mum very kindly subscribed to. But I changed my tier prices last year, and I've got 4 tiers at the moment, which are $4, $7, $65, and $195. For context, the last 2 are one-to-one mentorships, which is why the price is much higher. Anyway, I made $165 last year through Patreon, and this year I've made $112.35. I know I've made less this year than last year, but like I said, that was massively inflated thanks to Mima. But I've increased my number of patrons massively from 1 to currently 20, 9 of which are paying. So I'm incredibly happy with that. Like, that's really, really good, because it's been a barren wasteland for like 5 years, and now it's full of beautiful people. If you want to join a list of the beautiful people you saw on this list in this video, then consider checking out this video's sponsor, me. If you want to see these videos early, my comic Flowers and Shadows super early, get free downloads or get priority in my Discord server, then have a look at my Patreon page. Pick a tier that you want and come and join in the fun. It's a great way to support the channel and become part of a growing community. And if you're not sure, there are free 7-day trials available too. The link is in the description. Now, I mentioned at the start of this video that you should pay close attention to these numbers, and this is the reason why. Did you notice that I didn't mention comics? Not once. Last year, I made precisely $0 from my comics. Now, the big reason for that is that my comic isn't complete. But even if it was, it wouldn't surprise me if I didn't mention the comic then either. Comics by themselves, without anything else around them, are unbelievably difficult to make money from. One of the reasons why is because we live in a world where we have access to hundreds, if not thousands, of free comics on the internet, and so the expectation to actually pay for them is quite low, especially if your audience is young. It's also because of the amount of comics that are out there that it can be very difficult for you to get noticed, and it's virtually impossible to get noticed without significant marketing efforts. Now, you might be annoyed that I've been talking about making money as a comic creator when I haven't actually made money from creating comics. And that's fair, and if you feel that way, then I apologize. I'm going to be exploring marketing a lot more next year, and I'm going to be creating more videos around that sort of thing. The main reason I haven't done it yet though is because I can't in good conscience say, do this to make your money with your comic when I haven't done it myself first. That feels disingenuous, and I'm not going to try and sell you something that I myself haven't tested. And to be honest, I am being a little bit harsh on myself because one of the Patreon tiers is explicitly there to support the comic. Like, the only reason you would be on that tier is because you want to support the comic. You get early access and behind the scenes shots of each of the pages as I make them. And at the time of recording, I have 2 members in that tier, so I'm making about $8 a month from my comic. Thank you, Paul and Joey. So that brings the total to $2,952.35. $40 of that is from my comic, and the rest is through making videos about making comics. So it's all comics, but it's not my comic. I wanted to make that distinction because there's been some controversy in the YouTube art world recently. You may or may not have seen a recent video by Morg Design, but he basically created a video attacking other art YouTubers for deploying pyramid schemes to scam people out of making money, making them think that they can help them make money with their art. That's sort of his position. I'm not going to comment on that any further other than to say that I disagree with his conclusions, but I wanted to mention it because of the fact that the vast majority of my money hasn't come from the thing that you want to do, which is to make money from your comic as opposed to make money from a YouTube channel or an affiliate link or a product, other than the comic. I assume you're watching this video because you're either curious, you like these sorts of videos, because I like these sorts of videos, or you want to make money from your comic and you're hoping that I have some sort of answer that you can use. As I mentioned previously, I can't make videos promising that you'll make money from your comic if you watch my videos or give me your money. For what it's worth, I don't think anyone can really do that, so I'd always be cautious of people making a big claim that they can't control. But what I can do is talk about my experience over the last 3 years and my general view on how to make money online as a complete unknown. I think that there are 2 main things that we do not do very well as artists or as creators. We're not patient enough, and we hate marketing. These, I think, are the 2 main reasons why we're not selling our comics or getting views on our comics. And I want to address those 2 things. If you were here just for the money portion of the video, then thanks for watching. I made just under 3K. I'm really happy with it. I hope to make even more next year. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Goodbye, retention. So the first one, patience. When it comes to patience, we tend to think in terms of weeks and months before we see results or before we act on a lack of results. For example, you open an Etsy shop, you wait a week or 2, you have no sales, and so you start freaking out and thinking that you need to change the sort of stuff that you're drawing, or you need to open an alternative shop. I have done both of these things. But realistically, you need to wait a lot longer before you make any rash decisions. I don't think there is a specific number, but I'd say as a ballpark, at least 3 months so that you've got more data to play with. This isn't just for Etsy, by the way. It could be a personal website, a shop that you're trying to sell your comic through, a Patreon, Webtoon, Tapas, anything really. The internet is a big place. I have comments on some of my YouTube videos of people saying that they've only just found my content, and I've been on this platform for 3 years, and I've been relatively consistent in those 3 years. I have over 170 active videos, and I've made even more than that, but some of them are unlisted or have been deleted because they're terrible. So it's going to take people time to find your stuff. And when we're talking about time, we're not talking about weeks and months, we are talking years. And to help that along, you've got to talk about your stuff, man. I know we hate doing it, but you have to. And it gets worse than that, because not only do you have to talk about your stuff, but you have to talk about your stuff a lot. I think we hate talking about our stuff partly because we feel that it's a bit scammy, and partly because we feel that if we do, it's just going to annoy people. There's no real way to get over that feeling either, except to just put it to one side and talk about your stuff anyway. There's always going to be some douchebag online that's going to call you names, but that's going to happen anyway. Someone replied to one of my YouTube videos saying, "I won't buy your course." I don't have a course, and the video wasn't about a course, so I have no idea what they were talking about. Anyway, the point is, the internet is full of beautiful and amazing people like you. But unfortunately, the loud minority are the ones that you are worried about the most, and they should be the ones that you worry about the least. I think the best way to market yourself is to think about how 80%, if not more, of your content provides value to your audience. This could be in the form of entertainment, education, or both. I think they call it edutainment. That way you're offering something to your audience and you're giving them an olive branch so that maybe they might check out your work in return. This requires a huge amount of thought, a huge amount of strategy, and a huge amount of patience, because it won't happen on the first post, and it probably won't happen on the first 50 posts. And you'll get to a point where you'll feel that it's not worth it, and that no matter what you do, no matter what you post, nobody's ever going to pay attention to your comic. But as long as you're learning, getting better at writing and marketing and all that stuff, then you'll see an improvement eventually. This is where your patience really needs to come in and keep you on track. You didn't become great at making comics overnight, and you won't become great at marketing or copywriting overnight either. So do your best to learn as much as you can and give yourself time to improve before throwing in the towel. As far as a place to post your stuff on, I don't think it matters that much. I've seen people say that Twitter works for them, others swear by Instagram rules, TikTok, Facebook groups, or Reddit. And I think they all work because the internet is full of potential readers. And with that in mind, I think the best platform is the one that you like the most or hate the least. For me, it's YouTube, and it's the most publicly facing thing that I do. When it comes to promoting my comic when it's finished, I might go for TikTok because I know how to edit and I have a few ideas of what sorts of videos that I can do. Plus I can use this platform that I built for myself as a way to shout about my stuff too, which I'm going to feel uncomfortable and a bit icky about, but I'm going to force myself to do it. But if you're starting from zero or next to zero, then pick a platform and commit to posting to it for a year. And when you do think about the things that you want to post, think about your audience's needs over your own. Let's say that your comic is a sci-fi political drama, for example. Well, if you're searching online for places to post about your comic, then you could look for subreddits that are already interested in that particular genre. And then when you find that corner of the internet, start engaging with it. Share your passions with them and contribute to other posts. Then, after a while, make a post about your comic, or mention your comic in reply to somebody else. Just make sure that you give more than you take. But no matter where you post or how often you post, it's going to take a lot longer than you're comfortable with. But if you give it a real go, tweak your strategy, study marketing, and listen to people who have done it, then you'll improve your odds of getting eyeballs on your comic. And the more eyeballs you have in your comic, the more likely you are to transition them from just casual viewers to fans who might buy your merchandise, might buy tickets to comic conventions to come and meet you, or might support you on Patreon or Ko-fi, or any of that stuff. But the point is, it's going to take a lot longer than you think. And in 2025, I'm going to make a concerted effort to get better at marketing. I have a comic already on Webtoon and Tapas that I don't talk about much because I keep forgetting it's there. I'll use some of them as examples and then I'll remember that I actually have them released publicly. My embarrassment about talking about my own work got so bad that I forgot my login details for those particular accounts. So I can't change anything on them because I can't remember how to get in there. I don't even remember what email address is associated with them. So good job me. But maybe that's a goal that we can all have for 2025. Let's try not feel embarrassed or icky or like we want the world to swallow us up whenever we even think about talking about our own comics. If I can do it, you can too. Remember, you're holding yourself back if you don't talk about your work enough. And if people get annoyed, they'll get annoyed. You can't control that. but you can control how often you talk about your comic.